They talk about decolonizing the colonizers. So they bring up the natives here, and then they talk about Columbus and Cortez.
He
So
knows. He knows that the Incas were absolutely colonizers, just like the Aztecs, right? Ok, veamos qué tiene que decir el
The
piscino.
first Indians that he ran into were really nice guys. And Columbus went back to, he went back to Spain, and he's like, these people are like, they're like Adam and Eve. They're like living in the Garden of Eden. The second time he came back, he ran into a whole different crew.
Yeah, true.
And in fact, a lot of the allegations against Columbus, Columbus turned vicious and so on. Well, the reason he turned vicious is he ran into tribes that were into mass slaughter, and that opened his eyes.
This is the thing that...
Well, that is correct. That is correct.
I think with Columbus and Cortez, there obviously was that, well, there was a couple things going on here, right? Was the exploration, of course, the human curiosity, which we have, the search for gold and for fame, because he wanted to come back as far as fame from the crown. And then he got a little tyrannical. Well, he did with certain tribes. So what are your thoughts?
Up to this point, the guest is absolutely right. Columbus actually did try to be more civilized at the beginning, but he didn't landfall on continental grounds. As I recall, he went into an island, and the second time was on continental ground, so it was completely different. It was an isolated Pacific community again, and then in his second time, it was just mainland natives.
Columbus or Cortez?
No, Columbus. Cortez, as I recall, was directly into America proper, not into an island, but into the continent.
Well, Cortez was a subordinate in Cuba to the Spanish governor.
Oh, there you go.
And then he defied him and went to Mexico.
There you go. Then he also went into one of the islands first. Okay.
Right. And then then they landed in Veracruz, and the rest, but we'll get to your comments in a second, but let's continue the video.
The left ignores when they were like the colonizers, the European colonists called the Native Americans savages, and it's like no. The French cooperated with many of the tribes in the Canadian territories, fur traders. They got along just fine. The Aztecs, however, who were pulling people down on altars and ripping their body organs out, they were a bit shocked by that. And
we're shocked about these hostages. Now think about Cortez in Mexico. Seeing this stuff, you have rivers of blood. Imagine the psychological impact on the Spanish. And I think
I'm unsurprised the left takes the view that...
Okay, that's an absolutely unfair comparison. If the whole video or the whole topic of comparing is Aztecs versus what's going on in Middle East, I think this is really misguided. I will talk as somebody that shares Jew blood. I will talk as somebody that detests this kind of conflicts. Both sides should be absolutely destroyed. Netanyahu should be incarcerated because he has been flaming the fans of war for a long time, and that asshole wanted what's going on. So
let's go. Let's go. Let's bring it back to his what they were saying.
No,
imagine Cortez's trauma Fuck Cortez's
No, 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 no,
trauma.
no. That's the least of my worries here. Is
Right.
the comparison? You cannot compare literal people that know there's something better. They know there's cultures that have progressed further from just killing kids on the streets to a more primitive culture that actually believe that killing is the only way to have the gods not kill you.
He made a blanket statement about the Aztecs, and at that time, in their ceremonies, that in fact happened, right? Um, which is why Cortez was pretty successful in toppling down, because the Aztecs made other tribes pay tribute to them by your tribute is lives. I want the lives of of
Yeah,
your
you are
of your
paying for the sun to come back again. You are
Mhm.
paying for basically reality to keep going
Mhm.
because they didn't really knew anything else. They actually believed that they were saving their existence by sacrificing people. Yeah, they were excessive, but
Well, they got more excessive because they got more desperate.
yeah,
And
but
but before and after, as far as what these Abrahamic religions and people have done and are still doing to each other, there's no comparison.
yeah,
That's all I'm saying.
people nowadays they actually know what the sun and the stars are doing in the sky. They don't believe they are angels and a god. They
Hmm.
actually know that are celestial bodies in movement because of forces like gravity or
Hmm.
the push of the universe against just something that intervenes on the mass. This is different. Current day, we know that this should not be happening, and the people that are doing it are civilized enough to understand reality. They just doesn't care. They just want to
Right.
kill people.
The same
I-
thing people do to each other during all history of mankind.
Sure, but when the Spaniards came, it's like they came with a brand new uh handball.
Oh well,
You know, they just obliterated the game.
Yeah,
yeah,
they
well,
have
they,
little
they
choice.
have two new weapons,
Mhm.
modern weapons and diseases.
Yep.
Correct. So let's play a little bit more of the video, and
Okay.
then I want to get
Veamos.
Martin's thoughts.
Aztecs were doing something acceptable. Because sacrificing children, like literally just killing children,
Yeah.
would, like, any one of us would be watching that happen would probably start crying. And you imagine Cortez. The historical view from the left is that Cortez is on this boat sailing to the Americas, going like,
In Cortez's era on Spain, they had the cutting of thief's hand as a public spectacle. They will get the thief, put him in the middle of the town where everybody will see him, and they will cut the hands. It was an spectacle. Brutality was an spectacle for Spain
Mm.
too. So yeah, Cortez will not bat an eye seeing people being killed. It's part of his daily life.
For the European spectator. He's landing, and he's in that, and he could say easily, "Okay, we do that as a form of punishment." I don't see why they are doing this to their own population, who's not guilty of anything. However, since I was not there, I must reiterate it is just a supposition. I don't know. Maybe they enjoy it too. I don't know. I wasn't there.
Yeah, it's just I know for a fact that they had beheadings. They had different kinds of gory acts on public to prevent
Yes,
other people from doing bad stuff. and it was almost ceremonial. If you see how,
Yes, it was a form of punishment.
yeah, so the Spaniards, yeah, it was a Moorish custom, but the Spaniards were also doing it in the middle of their towns. They were
Spain.
killing people on the middle of the living area where everybody will see, and they will let
Yeah,
the
and
bodies
France did
lie
it
there.
too, and
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. So
and today is done on countries that we're not going to mention, but today
Nope.
is still done. They hung people publicly.
but
So
seeing
Let's
it
not mention
as
countries.
something
Yes.
horrible, well, Cortez was used to the butchery, was used to
yeah,
Yeah, I just don't want to, my thing with Tim Pool is that, he's got this massive following, and people are going to believe his kind of like, oh yeah, that's how it was.
oh well, I'm I'm telling you, I watch Tim Pool every day, and of course he's very wrong on many things. But I mean, what a guy says on YouTube is not gonna
Mhm.
mold up my mind.
Sure. Let's play a little more of the video.
And he's got like devils behind him, like, yeah. When really he's a European guy. He lands here, and yes, there's conquest involved. They're warriors, they're fighters. And then he comes upon children being mutilated for no reason. I wouldn't be surprised if he started bawling his eyes out and then was like, we have to stop this.
Nah,
I think my thing is, whenever Tim Pool brings up Mexican culture, whether it's on this side, from pop culture or social issues, to this, he's just completely off the mark. He's a complete ignorant.
yes, he is.
That's just it. I do watch him a lot. I listen to him a lot. I like his guests, but another thing too is that this guy never invites like a uh someone from that background to have a good discussion. So
I think he already knows that it will not be a good discussion. That's the thing. If you have so strong of a view in something,
mhm.
inviting somebody that will be absolutely opposite and will have the means to prove you wrong is not something you
Mhm.
want to do.